believe we have just gone live. I'm gonna adjust my microphone. Excuse the noise. That's better. I believe we have actually gone live. Yeah, well, it seems a bit we have. Alrighty, welcome to the stream. You actually joined me inside my house here. Yeah. The context of this stream is that we'll be continuing these weeklies for the festival playlist. But other than that, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Now, unfortunately, I have been somewhat spoiled into and teased into this car, the 1999 11. Apparently, according to a friend of mine who did the weeklies yesterday, it's actually a pretty damn good car. We'll have to see. So, for this stream, I'm actually going to completely throw my old plan of we get all of it done on stream out the window. We're just going to get to that car, and then I'll give my personal review. Now, the whole idea with the Extreme E car, I have that exported, but I haven't uploaded it yet. That is coming out later today. Zero buts. That is coming out today. Because I have finished editing part 2 to that video, because it was going to be a 3-part video, but then it'd be like an hour and a half long. So, I've finished editing part 2 to that video, because it was originally going to be the Extreme E, the 917, and the F8 Tributo. I've finished the 917 segment now as well, and I'm exporting that now. Well, not now, but have been exporting it. While the other one's uploading, it will be begin exporting. So that's nearly ready as well. That's irrelevant. Another thing, I will not be streaming next Saturday. I will put that in the description of these videos when they come out. Just as an extra heads up, I'm not streaming next Saturday. And right now, stream is a tiny bit hectic because of current events going on. But other than that, I've still managed to find some time, and I'm all good. So let's begin, shall we? Main mission here, get the 911 1990, because this week is the last week, that's all we need. So, some easy stuff, I guess. Challenges don't look too difficult, but as is tradition for anybody doing weeklies, let's go check the Forza shop. Lotus Avaya and a Lola. The Avaya's not too bad, it's 100 points. I'm going to score that. That's a really low price for an Avaya. So the Avaya's not too bad. It's not the best car, but I'll take it. I don't really care about the racing suit because it's a collectible and I'm not too fussed about cosmetics. Not a great Forza shop week, to be honest, I can't lie. Okay, easy stuff. Now, the Lotus Avaya is a part of the weekly challenge. Now, unlike last time where it didn't work, hopefully this one works for me, because it would be incredibly annoying if it doesn't. I think what we should do is obviously just get the Avaya challenges out of the way, so I can actually prove my point that the Avaya is not a bad car, but it's not a great car. And while we're at it, we may as well use a stock Avaya, because we now have one. Lotus would be way up. There it is. Yeah, I have a lot of Avayas. Easy stuff, though. So yeah, I want to try and get this Porsche as quickly as possible, because I do want to actually do a live review of the car, because I haven't tried it yet. I've only been told that it's actually pretty good. So we'll see. We'll see about that, because I have a very different driving style to a lot, and it's called I don't like to crash, even if it's AI. So, yeah. People using my shit, apparently. And I got confused with spins. Let's spin these, see what we get. Not the worst, not the best. I'm not gonna skip this one. Really could have been better had you gone up just one more in the middle. I could have gotten another Phoenix Agora. Agora. Can't English. I don't need another one of those though. Easy stuff. And we're driving the Lotus Avaya game, so if you dare tell me that we're not, please. There we go. Okay, this one's not broken. Let's go. Reach 322 in the Avaya. In the Dunas Blancas. Specifically Dunas Blancas. I mean, just do it here. It's single gear car. So, yeah, and then once we hit it, we may as well take a photo, because that is the photo challenge this week. There'll be 2 challenges out of the way, pretty much. Yeah, there's no gears. But this car just has one. This isn't 322 like it's near top speed? Yes, it is. Okay. Now, apparently, another thing I should probably give a heads up to, my internet is dying lately, and I don't know why. Now, we're going to do a quick promo shot. That way we just get it out of the way. Huzzah. Merger Six Mortis. I don't have much of a coffee, like my normal stream thing. Mainly because, yeah. Okay. Now the next one is designed with aerodynamics. So the 2020 Lotus Avaya is designed with aerodynamics in mind. Yeah, that's correct. Such as the Venturi wind tunnels in the rear, which actually look really cool. Use this to your advantage to earn 10 ultimate air skills. Of course! We'll keep the car stuck. I keep trying to shift up, but... like, no gears. And they have to be ultimate air. So... we got some dunes to take. This car is a hypercar. An electric hypercar. On semi-slick stock. Because, like, performance vehicle, but road legal. So, the car is kind of terrible on sand, I won't lie. But, like... what's to be expected? Now, of course, they don't need to be 10 ultimate air skills in a row, because that would be literally impossible. So, you know. And now all we need to do is win a street race. With Forza AI. I'm going to regret this. I should probably use my upgraded Avaya. I'll give the choice to, but... I said we'd do it in a stock Avaya. Specifically the one that we bought for 100 Forzathon points, because that's a really, really good deal for a car that's... not the worst, but I wouldn't say the best. So I'm gonna take it. It is hot season, or dry season, or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's hot season, yeah. Spring is hot season in Forza. So, you know. Fun fact, to those who are interested, I've gotten back into Dauntless because, let's go. I don't know, somebody wanted me to play again, or at least they asked me and they hadn't played in ages, I hadn't played with them in ages, so I figured I would. So if there comes to be Dauntless content, that is a thing. And another thing I should mention, I'm looking at getting into the Twitch scene. Who knows, that might be ready by the time, like, the video after the one that comes out today comes out. No guarantees, though. Yes. Understeer. A lot of it. I mean, I'm like 1.8 ton, which for an all-electric hypercar with like 2,000 horsepower, it's pretty good. These batteries are heavy, and everybody knows that. Couldn't take the inside line. Oh my god. Yeah, this thing's nice to drive though, I can't lie. The fact that I'm being outrun by like a wide body... Is that a Hoonigan? I'm being outrun by a Hoonigan, people. And what's in first? I think it's a Ferrari. I'm in the middle of streaming. why. It's an all-electric hypercar with 2,000 horsepower versus a aerodynamic mess of a F40. There we go. F40 Competizione is now passed, and now watch the AI go like really slow, but still be a pain. That is an extreme track toy that I have just passed in corners. Top speed, people. I have none. Wow, 350 is not slow, but please stop drifting. I understand you're heavy, and I understand you have all the torque in the world as well as all the power, and that you're only on semis. But you also have all the downforce in the world. Literally putting Forza Aero on you makes you worse if you put it in the front, and putting it in the rear doesn't change your downforce. It only makes you have more in the rear if you set it to max, and it's barely more. This car's basically perfect the way it is. You don't need Forza Aero on it, which is why whenever I see it, I hate you! It's an exaggeration. I don't hate you if you put Forza Aero on a Lotus Evija. The rear wing doesn't actually look too bad on it. Still not great though, just stay stock. You can't adjust it, sure, but like it won't help you anyway, so it's not like it matters. That was actually very easy. I don't take back what I said, because against other hypercars like the Agora or the Veneno, Lamborghini Veneno, yes it's Veneno, not Veneno, not Veneno, it's Veneno. It is a Spanish name on an Italian car, because that's what Lamborghini does. Yeah, cars like that will outrun it. The Veneno might struggle, but it'll do it. Yay! Okay, that's that done then. That's 2 challenges done already. Isn't that great? Now, I'm going to completely ignore the treasure hunt, because that wasted 30 minutes last time, and as much as I pretty much have time for that, because I need 10 more points. Wait. Oh. Oh, fuck. I can't press the right buttons, can I? Oh. Really? That's kind of cool. That would give me 10 points. Do I really want to do the trial, though? I mean, I'll have to do it eventually if I want all 80 points, but... yeah, fuck it. We'll do that. Background noise is great. Got a few nice options. That's gonna be good. Hang on. Or GT. Like, actually. I don't really want to use an overpowered car, though. I have a lot of nice cars I can use. But I also have a really overpowered car I can use. I say we use the overpowered car, but we don't go with an overpowered build. That way I can scare other players, even though we're not actually racing each other, we're racing against AI, into thinking that I am going to be really good, because I have no opinion, to be honest. Let's go make this car up then. How about that? Now, this car's pretty good. It's on Sport, I believe, stock. Yeah, which means rally tires have more grip, have less grip. Is it worth it? The handling, for some reason, goes up. But the acceleration goes down. Lateral G's with this is like 1.2 at 97. It is better. Okay, it is better to run them. So we'll run them. This handling is what matters to me right now. I probably won't need much thicker front tires, but I'm gonna stay rear wheel, so I'm gonna need some thicker rear tires. We won't go with engine spacers. We don't need them. Hello, Lachlan Foster. How do you do? I know you. Forza Aero would be helpful. It'd be really helpful. It does look like shite. But, yeah, no, definitely not, bro, definitely. You like the car I'm choosing, though? Yeah, no. That's good to know. Because I'm doing just fine as well. I have lived again. I'm no longer dying of sickness. Weight reduction is not needed. What am I doing? I will need a race clutch, and I'm gonna need a race transmission, because my top speed's gonna be ass with this aero. Especially when I only have, like, oh, I've got 600. This thing is 630 horsepower stock. I wonder it's so overpowered in S1. Ew, why would you go all-wheel drive? Cringe. This thing's turbocharged, I can hear it. And that was better. Please sound better. Ah! Eh. I don't want higher rev limit. Because this thing will be in my ears. V6. This is a V6. Oh god. Bored. Maybe I can go back on the sport tires. The handling goes down anyway, it's not worth it. Piss off. Screw it, max thickness, so we may as well lighten the wheels if we can. Ah! Wait, hang on. No, that won't help. Okay, that's not gonna reduce PI, it's not worth it. 3.6 litre V6 twin turbo EcoBoost. Basically an upgraded Mustang engine. No, the Mustang's is a V8. If you put the if you buy the V6 Mustang, you have no dignity. And you're poor. Oh, it's already on the widest rims. What? Also funny, because the V8 Mustang is not even that expensive for the car that it is. So, like... Stop bitching. Oh, piss off. I'm gonna have to stay. Wait. What this thing looks like to me is a car that too many people use because they have no sense of, yes, I know what a good car is in Forza Horizon 5. Instead, they just go, I'm going to choose the car that does the best in S1. Hello, Ryan. It's nice to see you again. And whenever people use this car, I'm just thinking, why? I'm only using it because I want to meme in the trial. So I'm deliberately not going for a meta build, just for the sake of, screw this, I know I'm gonna do fine anyway, so I'm staying rear wheel. But yeah, no, it's hilarious to be honest. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So I really, yeah, no, this car is cringe. I like it. I like the car. I'm gonna search something. I'm probably gonna find nothing, but it's if I do, I'm actually gonna laugh my head off. I can't press search buttons. Don't worry, I'm good. I'm definitely not in another world of dying. Yeah, that went about as well as I thought. What if I search name? Yeah, that's about what I was expecting. Now, what if I search the other name? I want to review this damn Porsche, so I'm wasting time. It's great. The Mustang's V6 is a 3.7 liter? Actually? Ah! I don't know how I think about that. I would go and make another coffee on stream, but I'm still not finished with the one I'm having, and I'm not gonna have another coffee within like 5 minutes of finishing one coffee. No, I think the reason why the 3.6 liter is faster is because it's twin turbo. And the fact that the Mustang's a 3.7 liter naturally aspirated. But then again, I will repeat what I said. If you buy a 3.7 liter V6 Mustang, you have no dignity. It's not that much more expensive for the V8. And if you're saving up for a Mustang, you may as well get the V8. Or just get a Camaro. I'm pretty sure they're cheaper. Actually, no, they wouldn't be. Ford would always be cheaper. What am I saying? And I know it's anime. Yeah, no, my internet is having some issues. Mustangs are crap. Agreed for once. Once I find someone who agrees with me. Oh God. There's a lot, actually. I was not ready for this. Venom. Venom and Spider-Man is anime, people. SCP-1471 is anime. So we've got the SCP that all furries simp for some reason. And then we've got Marvel is Venom, and I think Spider-Man is also Marvel. I could be wrong. I know Marvel is Venom. I don't know about Spider-Man. Because I don't pay attention to that shite. Venom's like the only one Venom and the Joker, and Joker is DC. Those are like the only things I'm interested in. The anti-hero and the villain. Yep, that's... Yeah, that's logic. Okay. Oh, hey, and someone with a Venom profile picture. Oh, God! The Karen Stang! No, that Ford Mustang Mach-E is not a Mustang. I don't like Mustangs, and I continue to lose respect for that car. But even I'm gonna say that is not a Mustang. It is not a Mustang. No, and no. Fuck the Karen Stang. There's a reason why I keep selling my goddamn Mustang Mach-E in this game, but I have to keep buying it back because it keeps getting used to challenges. What were we doing again? Oh, that's right, the trial. That's why I picked this car. I know it has the badge, but it's stupid. I hate it. That car is not a Mustang to me. It is garbage is what it is.
Around when it is safe to do so. 200 meters. Turn sharp left.
Yes.
Turn
Overpowered
sharp
car.
In 400
But on rally
meters,
tires, so like
turn
handling.
right.
I might actually turn up the aero just for the sake of not dying. Because rally tires are technically they're better for handling, but I've decided to stick it with a car that's kind of meta in S2. And we're gonna do this just for the sake of it, because I don't really care about my 7th gear. And I'm not changing it to 6 speed, I can't be fucked. What? I looked away from chat for like 1 second and now I just see... There's the Mustang, and a Mustang Mach-E. Yeah, the Mach-E is trash. Me and the boys hating the Mustang Mach-E.
Oh, please tell me, please tell me.
You're the only character from this game that isn't cringe.
Wow, that's generous.
And you can
Well,
shut up
just the
because this is
spirit
the
of
only
Horizon,
line you
isn't
ever
it?
use.
Shall we send a thank you?
Ever. Ever. I can't read Russian, but I'm pretty sure that says Horizon Superstar. The Jeep Wrangler. Or the Marquis. Because if it's the Jeep Wrangler, not a bad car. If it's the Marquis, cleanse your eyes. Where's the trial? Please don't tell me it's off-road, it isn't. Marquis, oh god, cleanse your eyes. Yeah, I thought it was. But the reason why it would have put the Horizon in English is because of the fact that I almost swore on accident. Is because of the fact that like a lot of languages just leave words like Horizon because Horizon is the name, which means it's technically Horizon in English rather than the actual word Horizon in Russian. So but Superstar is a word in Russian, so that's what I would have said Superstar Horizon. So I was right then. And it wasn't definitely because I just did process of elimination and going, well, hang on. 5-liter V8 is 72k. V6 is 57 to 60k. It's like 12k more! Just get the bloody V8! I'm also realizing this is Falcon. Sponsored. We are sponsored by Falcon. Let's go. Okay, really? Yeah, there you go. Yes! I have like, what, 900 horsepower in rear wheel? My internet is so bad right now, I'm gonna regret choosing to do the trial over just 2 challenges. Favorite car? Lachlan can answer that for you. Because he knows. Mine! Okay, fine, I'll say it. I gotta artist. On my wall, right now, is a poster among the many anime girls. I have no shame in saying that. If it is yours, Lachlan, I don't know, because you never seem to decide. Yes, the silence. No, I don't, but I know him from stream. The silence is good. Ignore the anime images. Of course, that was half a joke, half truth. There's a lot of cars up there as well. Including a, D. Tomas P72, because people don't know what that car is, but it's cool. Throttle, please, car. Please launch. Oh, God. Yep, this is already hectic. Is someone in a Noble? I think Reb's in a Noble, but I could be mistaken. Actually, I think he's in the same car as I am, because those look like my headlights. Yep, he's in a Ford GT. No, he's not. Hang on. He just looks the same. I can't look at chat, though, and... I shouldn't have gotten that checkpoint. I got so lucky. I'm oversteering and then understeering, which means I'm always missing corners due to my turn in. Thank you, AI. What? No, he's in the ATS. He's in the ATS, which has a very similar rear end headlight setup to me. Cool. Good to know. I can't remember how much horsepower I have. All I know is that it's apparently not enough. And this car's better in S2, not S1. But, like, I'm using it for the memes. It's pretty nice to drive, though. Of course, being on rally tyres, it doesn't slow down. But I can cheese lines, so... Fuck! I'm bad at driving, people. Oh, what the? I think I held E-brake for too long. Poor network conditions as well. Yes, I know, my racing line's great. I just got rewind. I can cheese line. This is what happens when I race like an idiot. Did I get disconnected? No, race ends. Oh. Yeah, Antonia's dead. I'm gonna DNF. I fucked up. Note to self, don't get overconfident. This car will kill you. I'm 10 out of 10 pro, yes. Although I won't lie, the corner that I fucked up on, I wasn't trying to cheese. I just took it too inside because I'm good at racing. What happened to the Audi? He was actually doing really good. What? He might have disconnected, because I almost have, because apparently I'm getting really, really bad connection. Yay! Kill me. I'm so good at this game. Definitely. I should pay more attention to where I'm going. So I have too much turning, that's what I've learned. I need to be careful. I talk too much, definitely. And it's not because I'm trying to talk more, because I'm on stream. Now, my car didn't want to launch, so... There we go. That's better. I'm 7 speed, but I'm pretty much only using 6 gears because I was too lazy to make it 6 speed. Oh, Katya! Wow! Yeah, fuck you! Katya! Oh, that's connection on my end being poor. Oh shit, sorry. Oh, Jesus! Ow. Pretty sure the Rebentum just rammed me. And then I got tapped by Pim in the GTR, who I accidentally hit and didn't mean to. This car's actually not that bad when I'm turning too much. I haven't played in like days. Thank you, Pim. I can't really say thanks because there's like really limited chat options in this. You get literally 2 to choose from. Otherwise, it's 2 set ones. Ow. My rear wing. Definitely has an effect and is not cosmetic in the slightest because, I don't know, the trial forces cosmetic damage on. Whatever, I'm a cello. Why? This is the second time this car has killed me. Like, why? Took a meme. This is what I get. I haven't played in ages. Yeah, see ya. Still hate Fords. Changed my mind. I'm so good at this game. 100%, people. 100%. Alright, we got the Porsche. Let's get to what we're actually doing. 1990. 911 reimagined by Singer. DLS, 1990. The Singer Porsche. So apparently this thing's really good, according to a friend of mine. No guarantees on that though. So basically, I'm now going to give some extra info onto how I review cars for when those videos came out. That way you know what I'm doing. What I like to do is test the car stock at a set race, then upgrade it to its top of current class, which would be S1 for this car. Do it the same race again, see if it performs any better or worse, or feels any better or worse to drive, and then upgrade it to effectively max. If it can get to X class, top of S2, and then top of X class, which would just be maxed. So, simple stuff, and when I do max the car out, I like to do Goliath. Although in a car like this, that might be a bit much, especially on stream. But it's worth a shot. Now, I like to race against AI. Now, I don't like to test drifting potential, as I'm not the best drifter, thus I am not one who can actively say if that's good or not. So I'm not really one to test that. I can test rally, and a 911 wouldn't be a bad car to test rally on, but I think we should keep it to road racing for now. I'll test rallying potential maybe later. In the stream, if I have time, and I have like an hour and 20 minutes, so I got plenty of time on that note. Yeah, now, when it comes to which races I like to pick, they're usually sprint races. I rarely pick circuits because the circuits are really, really fucking small. And I last did Sierra Verda. That's a bit of a hint as to the 917. The 917. The 917. And I think I did Copper Canyon for the F8 Tributo. Maybe. I don't actually know. It doesn't matter. No, I didn't. I did Horizon Mexico. So those are the races I did for those two cars. How about that? For this car, it doesn't seem like much of a circuit car, but we're going to put it on a circuit, even though I don't really want to. I just wish there were better circuits in this game, though. There's, like, there are none. I could take Player Azul, which is easily one of my favorites, but I don't know. None of the city ones are even fun, so it's all out of the question. I think Horizon Mexico is overall the best road race for circuitry, but because Emerald is too quick. Like, Emerald's so easy, it's not funny. Like, there could have been a circuit here, although there is. Bahia del Plano. So we'll test it on here. The car that I died on. I really kind of want to do the trial again now, but I can't be fucked. So we're not going to. Instead, we're going to race this thing stock, see how it performs. I'll note down what I think of the car at stock. Yeah, simple stuff. So the Singer Porsche, looks, it's a 911 from AEST, so I mean, a very, very wide car, but the old Porsches they had thinner bodies compared to their wheel wells. So, I mean, there's that. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think it just looks like every other Porsche from the past. I think it's perfectly fine. It looks perfectly great, but not my cup of tea, to be honest. I like the newer 911s more when it comes to their styling. Now, this thing is considered modern because this thing was made more recently. The car is just from 1990. Similarly to the Gunther-Werks, actually, which will be getting its own review video as well. Stuff like that is simple. Let's give it a shot, eh? See how it feels. I don't really have any many facts for this car because that's not what I do. You want facts for a car, you go watch AR12. That's not a joke. I can already tell you its brakes aren't great. Okay. Feels pretty okay, though. Okay, it's understeery. I like the sandstorm, because that's what's causing the understeer. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Forza. Come on. Its front wheels lock up easily as well. Okay. It doesn't want to turn past 200. Holy. Its brakes are god awful. Okay. So I think I've already seen what I need to say. This car is, so much for being great. It understeers, its brakes are terrible. Like, what the hell? Is this thing rear wheel or all wheel? Because that felt like all-wheel drive understeer, what the? More understeer. It also has no power according to the AI, but I don't know if I should trust that, because Whoa, that's a lot of understeer. What the? And I'm not even going to beat the AI because the AI is cringe on circuits. Which is another reason why I don't do them, actually. Because, like, what is this shit? I get that I'm, like, bottom of PI, but you would be as well, AI. Make it fair. Okay. Yep, we're gonna go. I think I've made my mark on first impressions, on stock. Not great. That was, like, what, 50% brake pressure? Like, wow. So, it's probably all-wheel because it's a Porsche. It's rear wheel. It just understeers. Okay, stock. This car is not great. Oh god. That was actually abysmal performance. It doesn't get a lot of wheel spin, which is really nice, but either its front tires are incredibly thin, which might be the problem, or this thing is just god awful. No, its front tires are just thin. And in the rear... In the rear, they're a lot thicker, but that's normal, but that is terrible. Okay. So that is one thing. This car gets a lot of understeer. Its brakes aren't great. So stock, this car, in my opinion, especially on Baja Autoplano, god awful. Don't use it stock if you actually want to compete against other stock S1 modern supercars. That was terrible. Literally, the Gunther Werks was just better. Okay, now this is probably also because the car wasn't actually upgraded much. It was just, you know, made. We cannot upgrade the engine, which means we're stuck with the 500 horsepower, which is not great in S1. We can put a turbo on it. And we can upgrade the turbos. Apologies. Anyway. So we can have... I can't seem to rev this car. Oh, there we go. 787 horsepower. That's not a lot. We stay in S1. But that's not a lot. So the stock engine's kind of terrible in upgrades. We can get the flat 6 twin turbo though, which is not a bad option. And should generate way more horsepower, to be honest. Yeah. That should be, like, close to 1,000, a little over 1,000. Nearly 1,200 horsepower. So this car can have 1,200 horsepower effectively. That's not bad, and in S1 is exceptional, but, like, our understeer. Look at those lateral Gs, that is terrible. I'm pretty sure this engine's heavier as well. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go for 700 horsepower here. Because, in S1, I'm gonna focus trying to counter that understeer, and I don't want to be all-wheel drive. So, well, that's like 800, but it's good enough. Yeah. Easy stuff. It's on semis. This car's just understeer then. Yeah, 10 liters of 6.4. That is terrible. We need full slicks for this thing. Still 6.5. Wow. 6.6. Okay, it's not even on the lightest rims, but that's fine. Oh, wait, okay. 6.6 is terrible. That is actually terrible. It's apparently already on race suspension. This thing might need aero to even go around a corner. That bumps it up to a 7.7 and doesn't necessarily ruin the car because it's a nice little lip. That's nice. We kinda need that. Now, gearbox. Wow. Everything makes this car's handling worse. This car is terrible. Okay. We're gonna try S1 rear-wheel drive. This is not top of S1. I'd probably put the other engine in, but we'll give it a shot. Because that was terrible. It even had a lot of camber. It just was terrible. Okay. Oh, front suspension is like softer than soft. Maybe that's why. Apparently this thing's lifted as hell. Really? We will set the aero up. I want to see what this thing can do in S1 without being all-wheel drive, because, you know, this should have the best handling out of the entire car's economy, but I doubt it because a friend told me this car was actually pretty good. I'm beginning to doubt that heavily for good reason. Back to Bahia. I'm going to get rid of the dust storm because that's not exactly a fair thing, which means I think we're in dry season. We're in hot. Why is there a dust storm then? Doesn't matter. See, it's set to be in a dust storm. Why? Bloody hell. No. Thank you. Okay. Now we're back to being in what we were going to be in. Just not in a dust storm now. So we're top of S1 now. Or at least top of S1 rear-wheel drive stock engine maxed. With full slicks. Hopefully this thing won't underperform. If it underperforms now, I'm not even going to bother trying to test it with all-wheel drive or anything, because all-wheel drive is only going to increase the understeer. And if it performs about the same or significantly better, I might consider it. Just trying to get it up to top of S1. And then giving it another run, but that would be a bit of a waste of time. I wanted to test if this car was good. So far it's not acting that way. It's actually underperforming a lot. Lots of understeer stock, horrible brakes stock. I only had like 500 horsepower, and now it's only got like 800. Which in S1 is... it's not great. I wouldn't consider it to be better. Now we are rear wheel. I am going to full throttle it. If we have enough grip in the rear, it shouldn't last very long. It didn't, just into second. That's fair enough. I'm going to say that the acceleration there was all on the AI, but not that it's great anyway. Oh, we've got a lot more turn in now. That's good. That's what we want. Never mind. Okay, so this car is terrible S1, rear-wheel drive. It gets a lot of turn in and a lot of understeer, so yeah. Look at this understeer, bro. This is with Forza aero put on, and it's still just, it's so understeery. That those front tires are not pushing the car around the corner. It's definitely better than what it was, but it's not great. Now, I haven't played in ages, that's fair enough. Well, I haven't played in like a whole week, but this is just abysmal. And 1 week of a break is not a lot, so I'm not like rusty or anything. I'm just... Wow, what is that understeer? Even in clean air, it's so understeery. Also, the Forza AI is absolutely the worst in this game. It gets worse. Forza Horizon 1's AI was whatever. Forza 2 and 3, their AI was good. This AI, and Forza 4's AI... what the hell? This car's not great, but like, come on. Like, that's a Rebenton, and I already know that that thing's slow. That's slower than slow in S1. Even when upgraded, so... I'm not gonna win, so to no one's surprise, because Forza AI. I have no power to put down to catch up. Okay, the car's not great, and I won't label that as Forza AI, but I will say that there was definitely some AI shenanigans, particularly in the acceleration department. This thing's not good, S1, holy shit. That was a handling, I kind of built that for handling. Understeer is unreal in this car. Time to max it out. I'm going straight for max because what else am I supposed to do? If we have enough time, we'll continue the week. Reviewing these cars live doesn't take much time. Editing them is what takes time. Oop. Okay, so, yes, that's definitely noted. This car is, not great. So, first things first, all-wheel drive. Handling goes down, but acceleration and launch is good. We're staying on full slicks, and we're going with the flat 6 twin turbo. We have, like, no choice but to max this thing out, because, yeah, quite literally, like, barely enough horsepower. In S2, 1,200 horsepower is somewhat the tops of our power. Most cars reach this amount of power, so at least it'll keep up in the power department. It's also fairly lightweight. 1.1 ton is really lightweight, actually. So it's got that going for it. I am going to go with aero discs because I'm currently in the aero disc mood. If it'll boost handling, which it will. So we will go with those. That does reduce our grip a little bit, but it's fine. We've got a tighter tire wall, so we should be okay now. Little more okay, anyway. Car's still bad. Our handling is god-awful. We'll go with a... A 4-speed would be terrible on launch, but good everywhere else. I'm gonna go with an 8-speed. Now, I already know what this is gonna be like. This is going to understeer, so I'm not going to test it on Bahia, because we already know how that went. Stock it understeered and didn't have good brakes. It didn't have enough power to keep up. Upgraded to rear-wheel drive top of S1. Understeered, but was a lot better. Had barely enough power to keep up compared to other upgraded cars. Was on full slicks, which was a weakness for it. It was pretty lightweight, though. Yeah, no. We're in a bit of a predicament, then. I'm gonna have to try and counter understeer, and it's not gonna be easy, because... Holy shit, this car is terrible! I'm gonna... Nah, I'll lower it a bit, to be honest. Taking it around Goliath. Aero's already at max, there's like nothing I can do. I'm going to try and counter the understeer, but I don't think I'll be able to. That won't be enough. This car's just gonna be god awful, isn't it? This car's going to be like the Guntherwerks Porsche, but worse. That's what I'm expecting here. It sounds the same. Like, whatever. So we head over to Goliath. Will I likely win Goliath? No, because... My god, this car is not exactly great, apparently. Not compared to other cars that I've been driving lately. So we'll give it a shot, though. We're going to keep this review nice and quick, and I'll give my full thoughts on the car afterwards. I'm gonna have to set up a bit of a point system for it, though. So there is that. Which is whatever. I think I could put text over the screen using OBS, so I might be able to make it a constant review. We might be able to make it active and readable, not just me saying this and that. We'll see if we can figure that out when we get to it. Otherwise, I will just do it. Let's give it a shot. I'm expecting understeer, and a lot of it. And because it's modern supercar, it's also up against things like Ford GTs and Corvettes, which the Ford GT and S2, sorry, is meta. That's the understeer. Holy shit, why? Oh my god, that was terrible. Now we have 1200 horsepower, which is enough. Oh, come on. Please, car. Nah, this is... Oh my god, that understeer is unreal. Wow, that is terrible. So this car is understeery. That's something I'm gonna have to know. Holy. I don't know what my friend meant by good. Cause this ain't it, Chief. Oh my god, it's slidey too, what the hell? It's slidey when it gets gripped. Like when its front tires catch, it slides. Uncomfortable. I mean, this is to be expected from like, what, a 7 in handling? But a 7 handling's not the worst anyway. I mean, I guess it is going around corners, these these medium corners. At like 160, 170, which is not the worst. It's not great though. You could say I'm used to extreme track toys, but that's not it. This car is genuinely a struggle to drive. And it's rear engine, holy! What the hell is that understeer? It's rear engine, so when it slides, it goes. My god, that is terrible. It doesn't have enough front downforce, I think, is what its problem is, to be honest. But there's nothing I can do about that. So there's like 40 kilos in the front, and its tires are thin in the front. No matter what, like, at the thickest, they're pretty thin. So... yes, this car is a struggle to drive. Oh my. It's requiring all of my attention. An attention I can't really give it, to be honest. Because I've got things to think about, things to look at, like my stream, and I gotta think about exactly where the car's struggling so I can give a proper review on it. I think this thing would be actually good at drifting though, because of that rear engine, it might be able to let its rear end slide. That is my opinion, and that might be what my friend meant by good. But I don't know. I'd have to ask him. And if he was joking, he was joking, but he was pretty confident that it was actually a good car. Because he said he was driving it and he was actually enjoying it. It responded well, and I don't know what build you put on it, mate, but this thing is understeer. Holy. It is, thanks to its 3.2 litre flat 6 twin turbo, quick when you put the power down, even with aero, because it has like none in the front, and the rear aero is like 142 kilograms at 100, so that is so hard. Normally I catch up to most cars there, and by most as in like passing them. I don't normally pass them here. That was not great, I can't lie. That is so much understeer. Now unfortunately the AI slows down a lot there. Hello Gallardo, with an F50 engine. That racing V12 is so noticeable. It's the F50 GT's engine. Not enough front downforce. I had to lock up to save the car there. The rear tyres were the only ones on the ground. Which means it's actually prone to backflipping because its rear aero is significantly higher than its rear aero. Meaning if you go off a jump enough with enough force, it'll get halfway through a backflip. Cars that normally don't have enough downforce in the front, but too much in the rear, suffer from that. Now, this isn't a problem of the rear being too planted compared to the front, though. What I'm noticing is that the front actually is underperforming. Mainly due to its downforce and tyre size. If you reduce grip in the rear, you'll get a more balanced car. Thus, understeer for its grip will be a lot less, but then you won't have a lot of grip. And it won't change anything though, your turning will technically be the same, regardless. The top speed will be higher though, if you go with less aero in the rear. Which will also make your acceleration coincidentally higher. Precision German engineering, people. Well, the car was, and now I don't know what happened, but in Forza at least this thing is understeer. Understeer and a lot of turning. Similar to the Ford GT, huh? Well, the Ford GT didn't understeer though, it just had a lot of turning. Interesting. I'm still gonna push it all the way around. It's already been 7 minutes. There's your context, people. It's already been 7 minutes and we're not even out of mansion yet. In this time, I'd be close to finishing in a lot of cars. And I'd say that's due to a lack of top speed, but that's to be expected with a modern supercar. There we go. Modern supercar, top speed shouldn't be through the roof. And its handling is terrible. We obviously got air there, which was what we expected. It surprisingly didn't try and backflip though. Its brakes are pretty good, even though you can't upgrade them. So the aero is 100% assisting them there. The aero and grip. So the problem with them stock is not the brakes themselves, it's that stock you have barely any aero and barely any grip on these tires, which means you don't slow down. And you're really easy to lock up because the tires have no grip. So I guess that this car is just a bag of... That checkpoint was a bit of a cheese. I shouldn't have gotten it, to be honest. There we go. I did upgrade the exhaust, which means this thing now backfires like crazy, because Forza logic. I'm kind of trying to keep the car at a stable rev, because it seems to do pretty well in its upper rev limit. Basically when its torque and power fall off. Which is what you should be trying to do anyway, but you should always try and keep a car within its appropriate rev range, which you'll discover by driving the car. And this car's very close to its red line is its best, so I guess it's not all bad. As that makes shifting really easy to predict. Now here's that understeer in action. A very wide and thin and loose corner, and at 300 it just refuses to try and go around it, so that's... Yep, now the AI's all caught up because they were definitely that close beforehand, yep. When did the AI suddenly actually get so damn close? Like, hang on, what? It might have been the highway because this thing has no top speed, but I highly doubt it. I actually have more horsepower than that Gallardo. That is something I do have. Like, 2 more horsepower though. It's not like... I'm lighter though, I know I'm lighter. I don't turn. There's that rear engine weight. My weight is mostly in the rear, which could also be another reason why it's understeering. Not enough weight in the front, which would mean a downforce issue as well. Huh. Yes, if you can somehow add more downforce to this car, which you can't, I'd go for it. I'd probably remove the race anti-roll bars in the front, as that technically increases front weight. Doesn't give me any control over the anti-roll bars, but most people don't even change those in the tuning menu. So I mean, if you're just a casual tuner, I don't put the race anti-roll bars in the front, because it'll actually help you not to, so... And maybe don't thicken the rim size of the rear tires to further offset the balance. It won't really do too much, but it might make enough of a difference to make it slightly less rear heavy, thus put slightly more force on those front tires. That might work, to be honest. You could also avoid rear aero, but I'd probably still put that on. Because if you're going to go with front aero, put the rear aero on in this car. Make it all-wheel drive, you want that front weight bias. Because this is terrible otherwise. As you can probably see me struggling. We've been racing for 12 minutes. And we're still not done. Okay. That is Goliath done in 12 minutes 43 seconds, I'd say it'll round up to. Nope, 42.8. Okay. Not great. Okay. Not great. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how the text works in OBS to try and give my review of this car in a points-based system and to put blatant text on screen about what I think of this vehicle. Because, this thing isn't great. Like, not great at all. We're gonna alt-tab real quick. And I know that OBS has a text thing. It's not gonna be the best, is it, though? Text. We'll just put that in. E. Okay, that's nice. Pretty big right now, but I can probably change that. Not sure if you can see it yet. Does not appear that you can. Oh, no, you can. My stream's behind them. Okay. How do we change the size of the text? Let's see. Does not appear to be giving me that option. Okay. That's a bit annoying. Well, we'll give it a shot. Yeah, no, it's too big. It's not gonna work. I already see it getting in the way. I can actually have limits, though. We're not going to do that. Okay. So, we are in a predicament where we cannot put text on the screen, so I'm gonna have to give my review of the car in words, and I hope you will follow me here, because I'm going to go into a bit of detail. Number one thing I'm gonna point out about this car, by going to my home. Understeer is a major downside of this vehicle. Rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, upgraded or not, it did not matter. From the quick tests that I was able to give it, understeer was a major struggling point for this vehicle. Which is kind of disappointing, because it is a cool car, I will admit. This car is really nice looking. I'm going to revert it back to stock, because it looks hideous with that front splitter. Yeah. This does remind me. Stock, this thing is underpowered. And the most power it can get with a stock engine is 797 or something similar like that. 800 horsepower. That's not a bad horsepower limit, especially in S1. But it's not great either. This car is very lightweight though. So that is a positive. And this car's brakes, if its tires and grip weren't terrible, they're pretty good. So there is that. Simple stuff. Now, I'm going to rate some positives, and I'm going to give them like a bit of a point system. I will have to open up Notepad, which actually you might be able to see that if I make it visible. So, you know. This will allow me to make it a little bit more easy. So if I go here, there, am I able to show Notepad? I don't know. I don't think I am. I do not believe I am. Okay, I'll have to do it a different way. You're gonna have to excuse me here. There, that should be coming up. Yep, that would come up. Okay. Let's head on over to Notepad. Yes, this will work. We're good. Now, I am going to write down, text is small. There's a zoom, okay. We'll just call it the Porsche 911 Singer. There we go. Now, I'm going to go pros. Now, we're going to list a few pros. Now, the first pro I managed to notice is that its rear engine gives it a rear weight bias, which would be good for drifting. There we go. So there's that. That's fair enough. Another thing is it's lightweight as hell. Like, really, really lightweight. I'm putting the dashes there, that way I can rate them later. And thus give points. What other pros did we have? Oh, yeah. Make it funny one, don't we? Thick rear tires, like really, really thick. That's fair enough. So the Porsche 911 Singer, some pros that we've got so far are its rear engine gives it rear weight bias, which would be good for drifting. We did not test drifting, but we did see it sliding quite easily, even on full slicks at the thickest tires. So that would be I can imagine if that's how it's behaving on full slicks, that would probably be the reason why, and thus I can imagine it would actually be pretty good at drifting, or at least very easy to get to slide and thus control. It is very lightweight, being that it's 1,050 kilo stock. Now, admittedly, stock it's god-awful, but that's still pretty good, and it does remain to be very lightweight, so very little issue there. Its rear tires are incredibly thick, which does give it a lot of acceleration control and grip control in the rear, especially if you're going for a rear-wheel drive build. Simple as that. What other pros do we have? Yes. I have one. Looks. Now, this is obviously subjective, so I won't put anything onto it. No points. Reason for this being is that personally it's not my cup of tea, but it does look really nice. I have to give it that. It is a Porsche. What am I supposed to say? Easy enough. Yeah, I'll give it. Can't spell. I can't spell. There we go. So, that's 5 pros. Oh, God. I can't think of any more. Alright, so that's our pros for the Porsche 911 Singer so far. Alright, let's get to the cons. Because, you know. Actually, I might get rid of this one. Because it's subjective. So, cons. Holy shit. Self-explanatory. I shouldn't need to explain anymore. If you've seen the gameplay, oh my god, this thing was understeery. It did not turn at all. It didn't matter if it was upgraded or not. This car did not turn. Holy shit. It is underpowered, but only an S1. So, there's that. Downforce is lacking. That's something we did note. It's rear heavy. Bad for racing, believe it or not. Where else were we? So that's a 4 to 4 so far, but I don't think that really matters. Yes. It's brakes. Brakes are good, but I can't spell. No, actually, its brakes weren't good, were they? Yeah, but brakes, but we'll say stock, because it was only bad stock. And I think we should also probably put the idea that it had one major disadvantage. Tires are thin in the front, like, oh my god. So, there is that. Now, there are 4 pros, and I'm going to rate them. Rear engine gives it a rear weight bias, which would be good for drifting. Now, we did note this because it did slide really, really easily. Even with all-wheel drive full slicks at the thickest, the car did slide. It slid very casually and very easily. So I can imagine it would be very easy to get sliding and very easy to control. So for drifting, I have to give this thing a nice point benefit there. But I'm going to give it a 2. Because drifting is not everybody's cup of tea, but it is also a lot of people's cup of tea. Meaning that it's pretty much just dependent on what you want to do with the car. Lightweight is easily a 3. Holy shit. And I should probably also put in my point system, being that 1 is worst, and obviously 3 is best. And this obviously flips for cons, because, you know, if it's a 3-point in cons, that means it's really, really bad. But it's for people tuning in, we're rating the Porsche 911 Singer. I almost said Stinger. That would be the Kia, which isn't in this game. It should be. The Porsche 911 Singer is not great, as we tested. So 4 pros, Thick rear tires is another 3. Way too much acceleration control for a rear-wheel drive car. So I like that. And the good acceleration, I'd have to give it 2, as acceleration, if you go 4-speed, is going to be terrible in the first gear, but also really good at the same time. So you can't really say much. The acceleration is just good. The fact that it's good with aero is another benefit, but good acceleration is pretty much a must-have on any car. Otherwise, you're just going to, you know, you might be the fastest, but if you have no acceleration, it doesn't really matter, because you're never going to reach that speed. So, yeah. Now, basic math obviously shows that this is 8 points. 8 points. Ah! Now, there's 6 cons, which is exactly 1/3. So, you know, 2/3, sorry, so it's a 2-to-3 ratio. Anyway, from what we've noted so far in a very, very quick review, understeer, and a lot of it, as we saw, that was painful to drive. I have to give that a 3. Understeer on any car is bad, especially when you can't get rid of it. So, yeah, honestly, I'd rather get oversteer than understeer. The reason for that being is that oversteer I can probably control. You can easily control oversteer when you expect it and can obviously get to it. Understeer, the only way to control that is to slow down a lot more than you're hoping, which completely throws you off and can sometimes get in the way very randomly when you just reach that one speed where the car just doesn't want to go. Not really much we can do about that. So unfortunately, understeer is a 3-pointer, which means it's really, really bad. It has a lot of understeer, no matter what. It's underpowered in S1, 2. I don't really care about power. Personally, I find the cars that don't have a bajillion horsepower to be more fun anyway. And this car was definitely fun, which I should actually add. Hang on, no, that's a con. It was actually fun to drive. Fun, despite the understeer. So that, I'm going to give a 3, which means I'm going to have to up these to 5 and obviously 11. If a car's fun, that's an immediate 3 for me. Holy, that's good. That's what we want. We want that. Now, downforce is lacking. Another 2. I don't care as well. Like, downforce, I'm the kind of person who will put the Forza aero and go for better downforce on a car that I'm actually trying to make as good as it can be. But most of the time, I would rather not actually have it. So the fact that the downforce is lacking doesn't really bother me too much. For racing, it's annoying, yes, but I'm not upset. It's really rear heavy. Probably a 3. When a car's rear heavy and you're doing road racing in particular, it does get in the way because you can feel it. A lot of the times the rear will slip or you will get understeer. So there's a reason for understeer, I guarantee you. So unfortunately, this is just what I'm going to have to rate this car as. It's that the rear heavy in racing is just hard to control. The fact that it has not enough downforce in the front to counter the rear heavy engine, because it's rear engine, makes it difficult to drive. Incredibly difficult to drive when you're actually trying to go around a corner. Now, brakes. People tuning in, I will repeat myself. We are rating the Porsche 911 Singer after driving it around race courses. Stock, top of S1 rear-wheel drive, or just stock drivetrain, and then maxed out around Goliath. I ended up quitting the first race because it just was that bad. Now the brakes, stock. If I could give it more, I would. This car did not stop. It accelerated really well, though. It did not stop, though. It could not stop. Either it would lock up very easily because the tires were too thin or didn't have enough grip, or it wouldn't stop at all because the brakes just weren't, you couldn't put enough brake pressure down. This was not an issue with the brakes, it was an issue with the tires, but that's why I've specifically labeled it as stock, because the second you upgrade the tires, brakes become perfectly fine. Now, obviously, thin front tires, too. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but in this car, it's a bad thing, a quite bad thing. So there is that. I think that's a pretty good thing to rate. So obviously, we've got 5 to 6, and then 11 to how many points? We've got 6 here, we got 9 here. So 15. That's upsetting. Ow, that's really upsetting. So yeah, the pro to con rating is a 5 to 6. 5 to 6, and then obviously 10 to 15 is 2 to 3. So could be better. Oh, it's 11. Oh shit. Well, then I'll have to put 11 to 15. Yeah, that's upsetting. So I'm gonna save this, that way I can use it for later information, later videos. Because I might actually make a fully fledged out video about the car. This is just a quick real rating of it live, because just to give some insight to how I do this. I should also specify road racing. That's well, there we go. The car is not great, in my opinion. I think this car looks great, but that's completely subjective and completely an opinion. It looks great, though not the best. Its performance is really fun to drive, but it's incredibly hard to drive around a racetrack. So, to put that into more concise words, it's incredibly fun to drive. I can't type while talking. I'm bad at it. Incredibly fun to drive. Horrible at racing. Absolutely horrible. This car is genuinely horrible at racing. What am I supposed to do about that? I don't know. Make it better, but I can't really make it better. Its upgrades are limited, incredibly, being that your engines are one or the other. Engines are one or the other. Tires are thin. That's pretty simple. I feel like that makes sense. I will zoom out a bit. And the final thing I'm going to note as a review for this car. There. Deja vu. This car can drift. There we go. So, for those tuning in and wanting a small explanation, and as a final review for everyone that's going to be more concise, I drove the Porsche 911 Singer live to give a context as to how I review cars. We did it nice and quickly rather than going into full depth, but what I did was race it around Bahia stock and upgraded rear-wheel drive top of S1. Then I upgraded it to the max and drove it around Goliath. The idea was to try and get a feel for the car, notice its pros and cons. The way I rate a car is that I obviously list the pros and the cons and then compare those numbers to see what its pro-con rating is. And then I rate individually, I rate each pro and con. I like to do it in a random order, but I rate them as is. This is fair enough. 1 is for the worst benefit for a pro or a con, being that the lower the number is on a con, the better, but the higher it is on a con, the worse. And it's exactly the opposite for pros. The lower, the worse, the higher, the better. That's fairly self-explanatory. With pros, what I managed to list was 5 pros, which came to 11 points total. What a pro that I gave it was that its rear engine gives it a rear weight bias, which would be good for drifting, which adds to the fun level and makes it a very casual car to drive. This I obviously give 2 points, because casual cars are fun, and I do benefit those cars. It's lightweight, incredibly lightweight, being that it's like 1,154 kilos at the best when you upgrade it to max, which is still really lightweight. I don't think it gets much higher than 1,200, if it even reaches 1,200. 1.2 ton is incredibly lightweight. That is good. Obviously stock, it's not even 1.1 ton. It's 1.05 ton. 1 ton. It's got thick-ass rear tires. That should just be a given. That really, on a rear-wheel drive car, that is a massive bonus. That's another 3 points. 3 points for the both of them. That brings our total already up 7. Good acceleration, even with its aerodynamics when you add those. and set them to the max. This is a benefit because good acceleration is what usually helps you around a circuit. Top speed does not help you that much, and top speed is useful to have, but will require good acceleration force to even reach. And the fact that it can do this even with full aero, which isn't particularly great, but is a bonus, I have to give it 2 points because that really is good. And then it's fun, despite the understeer. As I said, like, this car is just incredibly fun to drive casually. That's a 3-pointer, because if it's fun, and that's what matters. That obviously adds an extra 5, which gives us 11 points. So, pros, we have 5 pros with 11 points total. Cons, as you can see, we have 6 cons with 15 points total. One con that I managed to list from driving it, regardless of if it was upgraded or not and what place it was in, it had a shite ton of understeer. Oh my god, this car was hard to drive. It had so much understeer. Crashing was nearly inevitable if you weren't paying enough attention to exactly where your car was on the road. Otherwise, you get incredibly close or crash. The only way to counter understeer is to either basically slide around corners, which is slower, or slow down a lot more than you'd hope for. Not really much we can do about that. So, I have to give that a 3, which is really bad. It just has way too much understeer to be good at racing. It's underpowered, specifically in S1. This matters because it's S1 stock, and top of S1 is probably its best place to be for a lot of people, being that that is a lot easier than S2 because it's not as quick. So I'm going to have to give that a 2. There's not much value to it to me, but to a lot of people that may be a massive issue. So there you go. Downforce is lacking. No matter what you do, downforce is lacking on this car. It gets air a lot, which is whatever, but it can backflip because it has a lot more rear aero than it has front aero. But this also causes a lot of understeer and a lot of sliding, etc. while racing. That's a 2. Not really much more I need to explain other than what you can basically picture in your mind. Rear heavy is bad for racing, obviously. This is good for drifting, but horrible for racing. If you're rear heavy, very, very rear heavy, it's just... you're done for. That's a 3. Because even in casual driving, that gets in the way. So there's not really much you can do about that. Now, brakes, specifically when this car is not upgraded at all. These are a massive con for me as well, because, oh my god, they're horrible. And it's not even the brakes themselves, it's the fact that stock of this car's tires are terrible. And because of that, the brakes are too powerful, which makes them a con and makes the brakes responsible. It either locks up very easily, or you put barely any pressure, so you're basically not slowing down. That's another 3, because if you do intend to race this thing stock, do something that doesn't require lots of braking, and be prepared for understeer. Now, front tires being really, really thin is obviously a con for obvious reasons, especially in racing. It just adds to the understeer. Oh my god, this car is just understeer. If I could rate higher than 4 using my own rating system, I would give understeer higher than 3, I mean. If I could give understeer a 4 using my rating system, I would. Because, oh my god, it's that bad. Obviously, that gives us 15 points to the 6 cons. So our pro-con rating is a 5 to 6 with a 11 to 15 ratio on the amount of cons to amount of points. This car's incredibly fun to drive, though. So, I can't give it a bad rap. I have to actually say that this car's not the worst. I'm going to add an extra note. I'm going to give this car a 7 out of 10. The car's going to be 7 out of 10. It's incredibly fun to drive, it's just horrible at racing. Like, there's not really much I can do about that. That's fair enough. Its upgrades are very limited, though, which does add to this. I can't really list that as a pro or a con, though, because some people don't even upgrade their cars. I know a lot of cars I don't, and don't have upgraded. So that's whatever. You only have 2 engines, though, stock or the flat 6 twin-turbo, 3.2 litre or something like that, which generates like 1200 horsepower, so... And the tyres are thin, which can be beneficial, but is also really, really bad at the same time. However... Deja vu, we're just going to read it out. This car can drift. Did so on full slicks, on accident, without me trying, but was incredibly easy to control, so this car would be a good drift car. Yeah. No, I'm going to get rid of that, because we don't need to see that. Yeah. And hello, I can't read your name, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, this car's good. I like this car, but I don't like this car. It's similar to the Extreme E for me, being that it's a good car, but it really could be better. It does look cool, though, like... Come on. Like, what the hell? Turbine. Obviously, there's our storage. Yeah. The car's cool, but it's not great. Now, I have 15 minutes left of stream, which is not really going to be enough for anything, but this is going to be my way of showing a car that, for example, in S1 is better. If I can use my eyes, there we go. I'm just going to get into a car that I feel to be better. Porsche 911 Gunther Werks. Oh my god, this car's good. I do recommend this car. If you missed it, I'm so sorry, but this 911 Carrera 2 is good. The Gunther Werks is just, it's so good, bro. It's fun to drive, it's good, it actually does not get any understeer at all. There will be a review video coming in about this and other cars. This car is effectively the same, but literally just better in my opinion. Yeah. How about that? Now, of course, I only have 20 points in the season, and normally I like to get 40 on stream, but I have 15 minutes left. And my focus this stream was actually to check out the new Porsche, or, well, new if you're not playing Forza Horizon 4. And we have tested it out. It's not a great car. Now, of course, I'm off-road right now, which would be another good place to check, and honestly, I might double-check the other car off-road soon. But here's an example of a car that is good. Same type style, older Porsche 911, but modernized effectively through modifications. This car has no wheel spin, and if anything, it oversteers, as you might be seeing me trying to counter. Look at that. This is what I was expecting the car to behave like. It didn't behave like this, which is upsetting. So we're just going to drive down this road, and I'm going to keep note of the speed. So pretty much consistently, this car's above 160. Until it comes to like this corner right here, but that's fair enough. This car's consistently above 140 is a safe claim to make. But I can't really measure average speed, I don't have that benefit. I don't have that to my advantage. But we'll stop at the drift zone. So there you go. Me just casually driving this thing, I'd say we managed to make an average speed of like 140. That's pretty nice. That's what we want to see. Now let's go check out the other Porsche. The new one of this week, which isn't actually a new car, but it does better. The 1990 Porsche 911 reimagined by Singer. Yes, we'll be hopping back in this car just to test its average speed from that dirt road section again. So, this will be a good point of view because this is stock, and for context, this car is higher on the PI. Now, obviously, we went all the way around, so we will be coming from here. Simple stuff, in my opinion. Now, we're going to 180. And we effectively are starting from here again, so that's whatever. Let's go. Now we have wheel spin on launch, and a nice rev limit, but a very nice car to drive. How does it feel? Well, similar, definitely, but a lot more. It's a lot quicker by the seams of it. Oh, I hit a beetle. No, we won't count that. E. It seems to be a lot quicker on the acceleration, which makes sense because it probably has way more horsepower. I kind of missed that corner, but that's fine. I'm gonna have to brake. Now, in this section we were going like 170, before this corner, we did not do that. And here, oh my god, look at that. That's the rear engine bias, and then there's the understeer. So the car, if despite being like 50 PI points higher, understeer. Despite being PI points higher by a good margin, it's similar. That's why I think that the Singer Porsche is not that great. Welcome back, Ryan. If you want some context as to what we just did, I tested this car. It's not good. I'm gonna do this just to welcome everyone. There we are. So, there is that. I was testing this car, and I don't know if I have it up. I still do. Okay. I'm just gonna turn that on, and then I'm gonna head to here again. This is what I managed to write down, Ryan. If you want me to explain it, you can either go back in the stream, or continue watching. I'll obviously wait for your response, because I don't mind. I don't mean to give individual viewers any extra benefits, but, like, yeah. You can also read through it yourself, in which you can pause for that. And now that I've said that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's enough explaining. Oh, E. I'm half asleep, apparently. So some brief explanation. So, I listed pros and cons, rated them. Car's pretty good at drifting, as you can probably get from stock, to be honest. It's rear heavy, though, so, like, that benefits it. But in racing, that's god-awful. Yeah, no. The Singer's not good, in my opinion. I think it, not for racing, anyway. So, it's 7 out of 10 car. Its cons, major cons are understeer, holy. So much understeer. It's not funny. So, there's that. Now, I'm gonna wrap up this stream, to be honest, because I have no time left, pretty much. And I am tired, actually, believe it or not. Normally, I'm more energetic, but I am actually beginning to get quite tired. I think I've been putting too much effort into this stream. Even the Koenigsegg turns better, but I mean, it's a hypercar, so, like... What else can we say? Yes. I think we're gonna have to end the stream here. Now that we've reviewed the car I wanted to review, I'm going to give some extra context for everyone tuning in near the end. That way, everybody's on the same page. I will not be streaming next Saturday. Personal reasons. And I will probably not be, I was not looking at my screen. Nice, thank you, Ford. I will probably not also be uploading too much this week. I'm going to try and at least get 2 videos out, because 1 video is ready to be uploaded and will be uploaded sometime after the stream. Processing and everything's going to take forever. Australian Wi-Fi is garbage. Not really much I can do about that. But yeah, nah. Simple stuff there. I think that another thing I should mention is that I'm feeling a lot better now, on a personal note. For those who are wondering if I'm still sick, no, I'm not. I'm actually doing pretty okay. I hope you are doing all okay as well, because, you know, if you're not, I can't really say much. I don't know what's going on. So, there will be no stream on Saturday. To compensate, I will be trying to pop out more videos, but no guarantees. At least 2 will be coming out. They will both be review videos, so there is that. yeah. Now, another thing I'm going to mention is that I will be setting up a Twitch, and the Twitch link will not be in the description of this stream. I feel bad for your back. My back is very much the same for an actual medical reason, which is upsetting. That's just the world we live in. Ooh, riding the curb. So, yes, hope your back gets better in any way, if it is something that will pass very easily. Yeah. Oh god. Shouldn't laugh. Oh, that's rude. Apologies, I shouldn't laugh, but, you know.
In 400 meters, turn sharp.
If I were to just see that on the internet randomly, I don't think anybody wouldn't laugh. Like, has anybody seen fail compilations? Like, yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, I will be joining the Twitch scene, hopefully soon, because I want to branch out a bit. It's a very early branch, but that's what we're going for. The earlier the branch is, the better. I just completely ignore the fact that this thing can go 500 if it wasn't wet. We're just gonna move on. Yeah. Other than that, I think another thing I should mention is that if you're interested, I will be recording and uploading Dauntless, as well as Honkai Impact sooner or later. Maybe even going to Subnautica again, because that needs to happen. So, for those who are interested in that, that will be happening as well. There's a lot on my schedule. None of it is guaranteed to happen in recent period, but all of it will happen. That is something on my mind. So, I hope you all have a fantastic day, time, whatever it is for you over there, even if it's night. I hope you have a fantastic sleep if it's night. I'm gonna have to see you later, because I am all out of time. It was a great stream. I hope it was informative in any way to some people. And I really hope that everybody recovers from any illnesses, injuries, and all that with little issue. We'll see if we can hit 500 on stream, because I know this car can do it, and it has since dried up. Come on, you know you want to. We got the nice downhill here. We're gonna do it. Ah, so close. Alright. Close enough, though. Truly, have a wonderful time. I shall see you later. I'm gonna head back to house. I'm gonna evaluate certain things. I'm actually kind of happy. This was a good stream. This was truly a good stream. Well, as is going to be a thing, we end with a gif of Silla, because, yes, I shall catch you all later. It's been great. Have a good one, people. Have a real good one.